Okay, students, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. Okay, so previously I uploaded a video for the specimen paper for 2023 that was for new syllabus. New topics were included in that. And today I'm going to solve uh, IGCSE physics, that is paper number 2, extended. And this is for February March 2023. This is the latest paper which is based on the new syllabus and the new topics which were included in our new examination pattern. And there are total 40 MCQs and you need to solve in the given time period of 45 minutes, most important thing. And again, the same change, the value of G will be equal to 9.8 meter per second square, as we previously discussed in the specimen paper. And we are having total 40 marks, uh, which we need to solve in 45 minutes. Okay, so let's start the paper. Okay, so basically the first question is which list contains two scalar quantities and two vector quantities? Now you just need to find out two scalar and two vector quantities pair in the given question. So that is not a difficult task. So you just need to find out the values which are scalar and which are vector. Then you just need to mark the answer. Okay, so first option distance, speed, time, velocity. So let's mark the scalar and vector. Distance is a scalar, speed is a scalar, time is a scalar, velocity is vector. So option A is not possible. Vector, vector, scalar, scalar. Yes, B is the right answer. So B is our right choice. You may check from the marking scheme also. So 1 mark for the first question. Okay, let's move towards the second one. The diagram shows the speed time graph for a car. Okay, we are having a speed time graph which row describes the motion of the car at point X and at point Y. So we need to find out, need to describe the motion at point X and at point Y. So first of all, if you check out the graph, so at point X, there is a straight line passing from the origin. It means the speed or the change of speed with respect to time is same. It means there is constant acceleration. Okay. And at part B, there is a straight horizontal line that is at point Y. So body is moving with constant speed. So at point Y, we are having a constant speed, and at point X, we are moving with changing speed, but equal change. So according to the option, moving with constant speed at rest A and B is not possible. And moving with a changing speed but at rest, not possible. So option D is the right choice, moving with changing speed at point X and moving with constant speed at point Y. So D is the right choice. You may check from the marking scheme also. D is the right option. Okay. Question number 3, first two questions are very much easy. Four objects are moving in a straight line. The table shows the distance moved by each object in each second of its motion. Which object is moving with constant non-zero acceleration? So main concept and the main concern in this question is constant but not zero. It means change of distance will be equal with respect to time. So if your change will be same, so it means that we know the for concept of acceleration. Basically, they are talking about distance in time, and you know the formula that rate of change of distance or displacement is the speed or velocity, but we are talking about acceleration. Acceleration is rate of change of velocity. So it means that if distance change with respect to time, so that is the quantity of speed. And same goes for the previous question that is linked with the question 2 also, if you want to link it. That in question 2 we already discussed there is a straight line passing through origin. So there is also a change in speed, but a constant change. So same we need to find out in question 3. So in question 3, the concept behind this whole concept, which is constant but non-zero acceleration. So constant non-zero acceleration means there will be equal change in distance with respect to time. So let's check out the option first. A, in option A, all distance are equal. It means we are moving with constant speed. So acceleration will be zero for option A. And let's check out option B. Okay, in option B, in first second, we are moving 5 meter in 1 second. Okay. Then we move 6 meter in our second. And third second, 7 and 8. So you observe that the change between the distance in per second is same. There is a change of 1 meter in every second. So it means we are changing our distance also. In first second, the question is like this, that in our first second, we only cover 5 meter. Then in our next second, that is 2 seconds or after 2 seconds, or in the second, in next second, we cover 6 meters. Then again in third second, it means one more second we cover 7 meter. It means our distance is increasing, or we are covering distance plus 1 meter every time. So it means there is a change in distance with respect to time. It means there is a change in speed. And when speed will change or velocity will change, so acceleration will produce, right? So acceleration is not zero because there is a constant change in speed. And when we are working with the constant change in speed, so constant change in speed means a constant acceleration, right? So option B is the right choice. So let's check in the marking scheme also. Okay, so B is the right answer. B is our okay. Question number 4, the drag force on a car increases with the speed at 20 meter per second. The total drag force is 400 Newton. The mass of the car is 1200 kg and the driving force is constant at 700 Newton. So first of all, let's mark the important key point. A car increase with the speed. So basically the drag force is increasing as the speed of the car is increasing, right? So that is the concept in our question. Second, at 20 meter per second, the total drag force is 400. So basically this speed links with 400 Newton. The mass of the car, so this is the mass remains same. And the driving force is constant, so driving force is also constant, that is 700 Newton. Only drag force will change with increase in speed. So that is the question. Which statement about the acceleration of the car at 20 meter per second is correct? So first of all, in options, you observe that there is a value of acceleration. So first we need to find the acceleration. So for acceleration, just memorize all the formula related to acceleration. So there is a formula which is equals to F equals to ma, that help us to find the acceleration with reference of force. Acceleration will be equal to F over m. So mass is constant, but for force, we know that the driving force is constant 700, and they are talking about 20 meter per second. So at 20 meter per second, we are having drag force of 400 Newton. So 700 is our driving force, 400 is drag force divided by mass, which is equals to 1200. So just simply solve this equation. You will get the answer 300 divided by 1200. That is 0.25 meter per second square, the value of acceleration. So this is the answer for acceleration, but we still need to complete the answer. There are multiple options, so C and D is not possible because the value of acceleration is not according to our answer. So, but will decrease as time pass. So they are talking about the decrease in speed as time pass and will increase as time pass. So you will get the hint from the first part of the question. The drag force on a car increases with the speed. So it means that we only calculate the value at 20 meter per second where drag force is 400 Newton. So if we increase our speed, so drag force will also increase. So it means according to that, drag force will increase. So it means that if drag force will increase, so our acceleration will decrease, right? Because it's still in this situation we are having 400 Newton, and according to the question, the drag force on car will increase with the speed. So if we increase our speed from 20 meter per second, so drag force will also increase, and drag force increase means our driving force is constant, right? So 700 minus, let's suppose 500, so you will get a smaller answer as compared to 0.25. So A is the right choice, that the acceleration is 0.25 at this moment when speed is 20 meter per second. But if you increase the speed, so drag force will increase and your acceleration will also decrease as the time pass. So let's check in marking scheme 4A, right? That is the right answer. Okay, question number 5. A rectangular swimming pool is 50-meter long and 20-meter wide. Okay, that helps you to find out the area. It contains the depth. So basically there are three length. If we combine these three length, so we will get a value of volume, simply that. So I'm just writing, let's see it will help us or not. Okay, so just simply multiply these value, we will get the answer of volume, that is 2500 meter cube. Okay, so we are getting 2500 meter cube of volume, right? Because while you are solving the question, just write down the important things and just figure out all the values as quick as you can, because you are not having enough time to solve the question and not have enough time to think again and again. Okay, so density is given also. Now you get the concept. What is the mass? So question is very simple. Use the basic formula of density is equals to mass over volume, and we need to find the mass. So equation will be like density into volume equals to mass. So mass will be equal to 1000 the density multiplied by 2500 the volume. So 1000, sorry, multiplied by 2500, you will get 2500000. That is option D. So question number 5, option D is the right choice. Yes, D is the right option in marking scheme also. Okay, question number 6. An object is rising vertically at constant speed. So important thing, at constant speed through water. And you know the basic concept. I just remind you while we are talking about constant speed. So forces are constant. Remember that thing. That is the important hint. Maybe it will help us in our question. There are three vertical forces acting on it: the weight W, the drag force D, and the upward force U. Okay. So basically, there are three forces, and you need to know that these three forces must be equal and opposite because we are moving with constant speed. Again, remember that thing. Which diagram shows the magnitude and direction? Okay, so same question is straightforward. We need to just balance the force. If you balance the force, you will get the constant speed, right? Okay, so let's check out in question, sorry, in option A, we are getting 3 Newton in upward direction, and yes, 3 Newton in downward direction. Okay, and let's check out the quantities also, because W is the weight, okay, D is the drag force, and the water, the upward force is U. And we know that the object is rising vertically. So when object is rising vertically, so the direction of drag force must be in downward position. So drag must be in downward position, weight must be in downward position, only U, that is the upward force. So you need to identify the direction, that is also mentioned, magnitude plus direction. So A is not the right choice. And 5 Newton, again, the direction is not correct. Direction is not correct. Okay, option C. But in option C, magnitude is not equal. 4 Newton in downward, 2 Newton in upward. So magnitude is not equal and opposite. So option C is also not good choice. And in option D, directions are perfectly identified, and 3 Newton in downward position and 3 Newton in upward position. So D is the right choice. So question number 6, option D. Yes. Okay, so I hope you get the concept. Let's move towards question number 7. Okay, question number 7 is related to the moment. Okay, so two boys equal weight. Again, important hint. Sit on one side of a seesaw as shown. Their father of weight 1000 Newton sits on the other side. The seesaw is balanced and is being used to that so that it moves up and down. Okay, during one part of cycle, the father descends through a distance of 40 meter. It means now father is moving towards left hand side, and the distance, let's suppose this is the moment arm for father df. At the same time, the boy nearest to the pivot rises through 20 centimeter. Okay, so this is the moment arm for let's suppose this is for boy 1, and the other boy rises through 80 centimeters, so this will be the moment arm for boy 2, right? Okay, so we know the value for the weight of the father, so force exerted by the father, which is equals to 1000 newtons. So that is the data which we extracted from the question. And what is the weight of each boy? So we know that the weight of each boy is equal, but we need to find out the value. So by using the principle of moment, we know that clockwise rotation is equals to anti-clockwise rotation. And if we take the reference from the direction of father, so you know that a seesaw will rotate in this direction, that is anti-clockwise. And if we take the reference of these two boys, so seesaw will rotate in clockwise direction. So it means we need to balance the equation. So clockwise rotation will be equal to anti-clockwise rotation. So according to that situation, if we consider the rotation from the father side, so we know the values, or we just simply write it as F or B. So that will be more easy because clockwise rotation we are getting from the side of boys, and anti-clockwise rotation we are getting from the father. So that is from the boy's side, that is from the father side. So we know the values for father. We know the weight of the father is 1000 Newton multiplied by the moment arm, which is equals to 40. Okay, and for the boys, we are having two different values. So let's suppose we the weight of two boys are unknown, but the weight are equal. So we are not writing W1, W2. We just write W because weight are equal for each boy. So W multiplied by the moment arm of boy 1 plus weight multiplied by the moment arm of boy 2, right? So now we just simply write the values. So that will be like this. I am writing this. Okay. So now just we know that weight is constant. So we just take W common from both values. So we only need to write the moment arm of boy 1 and moment arm of boy 2. So I'm again just write for your simplicity like this. Little bit mathematics is going to be included over here. So 40,000 on right hand side, that is very simple, and just substitute the values. So 20 plus 80 is equals to 40,000. And now we know that 80 plus 20 will be 100. So W will be equal to 40,000 divided by 100. So you will get answer 400 So 400 is our answer of this question. Let's check in marking scheme also. Question 7. Yes, B is the right choice. Okay, that's a good question. Okay, question 8 is related to elastic deformation. A student measures the length of a spring. She then attaches different weight to the spring. She measures the length of the spring for each weight. The table shows her result with what is the extension of the spring with a weight of 3 Newton attached to it. So we just need to check the 3 Newton in the question. Don't read the whole table, just check out the 3 Newton is there, and we need to find the extension. We know the extension is the difference between the original length and the extended length. So original length is this one, extended length or the final length is this. Just need to subtract the values. So 533 minus 520, you are getting answer 13. So 13 millimeter is the answer. It means option D. Yes, option D, right choice. Okay, so question number 9. The momentum of a body is changed by a force on it for a period of time. Basically, they are talking about impulse. We studied the concept of impulse. That is force acting for a short period of time. So what action increases the change in momentum? So doubling the force half the time, doubling the force for same time, halving the force and the time, halving the force and doubling the time. So basically, you know the concept. If that is very simple, if we increase the force, so our momentum will automatically increase. So B is the right choice. Yes, B is the right choice. Okay, actually this is, sorry, just correct this. Yes, so we may write it like this. Okay, so this is our concept. Let's move towards next question. Question number 9. Yes, B is the right answer. Okay. Okay, question number 10, the equation used to find the change in gravitational potential energy. So they are talking about the equation of gravitational potential energy. Just recall that original equation is equals to mgh of an object can be written as, so this is the equation. Basically, there are some unknown symbols. Maybe question will be to identify the original symbol. EP is the change in gravitational potential energy, okay. And which rho gives the quantity Y and Z. So we know the formula mgh. So H is already mentioned, M and G is missing. So Y mass, yes, and Z gravitational field distance, that is simple, M and G. So it means option A for question number 10. Yes, that's right. Okay, question number 11. So question number 11 is related to the efficiency. A machine has a power input of 200 watt. So that is the input power, and a useful output energy of 1 kilojoules. That is output energy and that is time. So we know the formula for efficiency, useful output energy. Uh, I'm writing in short, output divided by input, because we know the concept, we always calculate the useful output energy multiply by 100. So in question, it is clearly mentioned we are working with useful output energy, that is 1 kilojoules. And we are having a value of uh, input power. So first we need to calculate the output power. So for output power, The output power will be equal to rate of change of energy. So 1 kilojoules. So 1 kilo means 1000 joules divided by time. And time is mentioned in minutes. We need to convert into seconds. So we multiply it by 60. So just calculate it. And after calculation, let's see what we are getting answer. So 1000 divided by 360, you are getting 2.777. Just round it 2.8 watt. So basically output power is equals to 2.8 watt. Now just calculate with the formula of efficiency. So efficiency will be equal to output power, that is 2.8, divided by input power, which is 200, and multiply by 100. So divided by 200, multiply by 100, 1.388, round off 1.4%. It means C is the right choice. Actual answer is 1.388% and round off will be equal to 1.4%. So that's why C is the right choice. Yes, C is the right choice. Okay, question number 12 is very simple. What is the unit of power? That is already mentioned in question number 11. That is watt. No confusion. Free mark. Okay, so those students who are doing topicals with me, they know that this question is repeated from the past papers. This question is already included in our topicals and that question is repeated many times. That is related to the pressure. So we need to calculate the pressure. That is question is straightforward question. We need to calculate the pressure at the base of the block. So they are talking about the base. So don't get confused in the height. They are talking about the base. So we need to select these two parameters as area because weight is mentioned. So the formula for pressure is force per unit area. So force is 16 and area will be equal to 4 multiplied by 5. Don't get confused in height because height, we use the concept of height in pressure in liquid, rho GH. So 16 divided by 20, we will get 0.80. That is option C. You may check calculation by your side also. Yes, 13C. Okay, that question is also simple. Question 14, an oil tank has a base of area 2.5 meters square and is filled with oil to a depth of 1.2. Again, there is a hint in this question and the hint is that is area, that is depth. Combining these value will give you the volume because there are three lengths. So you just need to multiply 2.5 by 1.2. You will get the value of volume. So 2.5 multiplied by 1.2, that is 3. That is the value of volume. Okay. And the density, that is the density. What is the force exerted on the base? So they are going to find out the force exerted. So volume is given, density is given. First of all, we know that the density, the formula of density is equals to mass over volume. So let's first calculate the mass because we know that with the help of mass, we can easily calculate the force by using the formula W equals to mg. So mass will be equal to again density time volume, and density is equals to 800 multiplied by volume, that is 3. So we are getting 2400, right? So now we need to find out the force. So we just need to calculate the weight because weight is also a force acting downward. So on the base, they are talking about base, that is the downward force. So just simply calculate by W equals to mg. M is 2400 multiplied by 9.8 because that constant value is already mentioned in the top of the instruction. 23520. It means round of 24,000. That is option D. Yes. Okay, question 15. A sample of gas is trapped in a rigid container. Rigid container mean, think about it. There is a hint in this question. Rigid container means constant volume. So our volume is constant. While reading a question, always try to find out the hint while reading the question first time. That will help you to save the time. So as the temperature of the gas increase, the pressure will increase. We know the concept, pressure is directly proportional to temperature if volume remains constant. Which statement is not correct? Not correct. So we need to focus on the word not. Let's check out the options. The gas molecules have greater kinetic energy if the kinetic energy will increase. So kinetic energy increase. Kinetic energy is due to motion of a body. If motion increase, so volume will increase. So option A is not a right choice. The gas molecule hit the wall of the container harder. Okay, maybe this option is possible. Let's check out other option. The gas molecule hit the wall of the container more frequently. Okay. Uh, because these options are right, because we know pressure increase. So these two options are just indicating the right concept, right? And we are talking about the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy will also increase. Sorry for that. Because kinetic energy increase, but the volume is constant. So sorry for that. Correct this statement. Okay, so in option D, the gas molecules move further apart. So that is the same concept which I am talking about option A. So I mix up option A and D. A and D are separate option. So basically D option is not a correct statement according to the question. So D is the right choice according to our question. Yes. Because in option A, there is a statement that is half have a greater kinetic energy, okay, but they don't mention that they are going to increase the volume. So that is mentioned in option D. So again, correction in option A during explanation. Okay, question 16, what happens when the temperature of a liquid increase? Okay, the mass of the liquid increase, making the liquid less dense, mass remains constant. Mass remains constant. The volume of the liquid increase, okay, making the liquid less dense. Simple, that's correct. And that is also repeated from the past papers while we are doing topicals. So that question is also included over there. So C is the right choice. Yes, C is the right choice. A bar of metal, which is good thermal conductor. Okay, so focus on the word conductor. We are talking about a conductor is heated at one end. Okay. What is the main method of transfer of thermal energy along the bar? Lattice vibration, movement of atom of the metal along the bar, transfer by electrons? Yes. So always remember this question is also from the past paper, but the phrase was different. So don't get confused. Question is very simple. When we are talking about the conductor, so always think about the free electrons. So C is the right choice. Yes, C is the right one. That's good. Okay, question number 18. This is the third consecutive question, which is again repeated from past paper. Again, I mentioned those who are doing topicals with me, they witness that this is the repeated question from the past paper, and I think this is the first question from our topicals. Okay, so in question number 18, in this diagram, you just need to label points which is one wavelength apart. That's simple. Point X and point Z, because one trough, one crust makes one wave, and the length of one wave is the wavelength, right? So that is option very simple. C is the right choice, X and Z. So these 2 points are at a distance of one wavelength. That's simple. Don't get confused in the other options. Question is straightforward. So 18C. Okay. Question number 19. Light in transparent plastic meets a boundary with air. Light is transmitted into the air only if the angle marked theta in the diagram is greater than 36 degree. Okay, so basically they are talking about light is going to be bent at 90 degree if and it move in air because plastic is a dense medium and air is a rare medium. So they only mention the angle of incidence or the incident ray. The refracted ray or is not mentioned in the diagram or in the question. So what is the refractive index of the plastic? So for that purpose, we need to find out with the reference of the critical angle, because at this specific degree, if the angle of incidence is greater than 36, so light will move into the air, right? So that is the question. So we know that the angle of refraction is not over there, so it means light is not in the rare medium. Light is still in our dense medium, so we use the reference of the refractive index. Sorry, the concept of critical angle. So formula is equals to 1 over sine C. But first we need to measure this angle of incidence, because if we are taking the reference of critical angle, so we need to find out the angle of incidence, because angle of incidence is critical angle because light is not moving in air. Light is still in the same medium. So let's mark the angle. I will show you the angle. Okay, let's check out the screen over here. Okay, let's try to measure the angle. Yes. So basically angle of incidence is equals to 51. Let's again move to our question. This is angle 51 degrees. So now we can easily find out with the reference of 1 over sine 51. And if you calculate the value, let me check out what will be the answer. Okay, so 1 divided by sine 51, 1.28. So it means 1.2, that is option C. Don't get confused with this number. Most of the students try to find out by n equals to 1 over sine 36. In question, it is not mentioned that the given angle is 36. So you will get the wrong answer, that will be 1.7. So that is not the right choice. Yes, C is the right option, because concept is very much clear. I hope that will help you. Otherwise, just check out my topicals video that will help you to practice the concepts. Okay, question number 20. And question number 20 we did yesterday. The questions of the light. Those students who are doing topicals with me, they know the concept of the light. A thin converging lens has a focal length f. An object is placed on to the left to the lens as shown. Where is the image formed and how does its size compare to the object? Very simple. Focal length is mentioned. This is the focal length. This is the focal length. And you know that when object is placed between focal length and the lens, so image will be virtual. Image will always virtual because this lens will act like a magnifying glass. If you still have confusion in light section, because I know most of the students still have confusion in light section, just like the ATP, so just check out my video in topicals related to the light section. There are 3 videos. So I hope that will help you to understand the whole concept in light chapter. Okay, so we will get a virtual image, that is very clear, because that is a natural property. Just go through the image formation topic, that will help you. That is also uploaded on my channel. So okay, moving towards the question. So virtual image will be on the same side, that is the concept. So A and B is not possible because image is not going to be obtained on the screen. No image is going to be obtained on the screen. So on the same side of the lens as object, larger than the object. Yes, because I already mentioned magnifying glass. This convex lens help us to work like a magnifying glass. So image will be magnified. So C is the right choice. Straightforward question. 20 C. Right. That is correct. 21 is the ray diagram for prism. A very simple question. Those students who know the ray diagram of prism, so they easily identified that D is the right choice. So just go through the or just search on the internet the dispersion in prism. You will get the ray diagram for it. So I'm not going to explain it in a detail because that is very simple. I think 21D. Yes, because light is going to be bent in downward direction. The concept of rare to dense, dense to rare, towards normal, away from normal. Okay, so 22. A television station transmits a signal to the television receiving dish. Okay, so setup starts from this side. The TV station transfers signal to satellite, satellite transfer signal to receiving dish. Then we are watching signals or picture or any specific channel on our TV. And there is indicator. Indicator shows red, green light, and remote control is also showing infrared light. Question is which electromagnetic wave used in these action has the longest wavelength? And you know that when we are working with radio signals, and radio signals help us, or the microwave signals help us to transmit or to communicate between one point to another. So basically the wavelength will be greater in option A because we need to travel through long distance. So long distance means longer wavelength. So A is the right choice. That is also very simple. Just go through the applications of different type of electromagnetic wave. You will get the answer also. That is right. Question number 23, that is related to the ultrasound. A sound makes a list of some applications of waves: medical scanning of soft tissue, sterilizing water, using sonar to calculate ocean depths. Which applications use ultrasound wave? Okay, so we know the concept that ultrasound, we use ultrasound in medical field. So first one is right. Sterilizing water, that is not the application of ultrasound. Using sonar to calculate, yes. We use this one because we know that the frequency of ultrasound is greater than 20,000 hertz. So we use in sonar system also. So 1 and 3 is the right choice. C is the right answer. C is the right answer. Okay. 24. The diagram shows a bar magnet at rest on a smooth horizontal surface, a length of soft iron. Soft iron is a conductor. Wire is held parallel to the magnet. The wire is released. What happens? So concept is very simple. It is going to be attract towards the magnet because it is a conductor. So we just need to find out the answer. Wire move towards the magnet because there is a force of attraction. Very simple question. Which diagram shows the electric field pattern and direction around a positive charge? So again, think about the basic concept that for positive charge, field will always move radially outward. So radially outward, option A, right? Simple question. Yes, option A. Okay, laboratory has a standard wire of known resistance. Is it also has other wires made from the same material? So material is same, it means resistivity remains same as the standard wire, but of different length and diameter. Okay, material is same, length and diameters are different. Which wire would definitely have a resistance of less than the standard wire? So it means we are going to work with less resistance. Just remember the formula R is equals to rho L over A. So according to that, if we increase the length, resistance will increase, and if we increase the cross-sectional area, so resistance will decrease, right? Resistance is directly to length. Resistance is inversely to A. So we need to find out less resistance. So it must be greater in diameter, less in length. So shorter length, larger diameter, option C. Yes, option C. Okay, that's good. Question 27, the graph shows the relation between the current in a circuit component and a potential difference. Okay, what happens to the resistance of the component in these two sections as the current increase? So first we observe that there is a straight line, then there is a curve. So these are two sections. So in a straight section, we know that current and potential difference both are directly proportional. So resistance remains constant, no change in resistance. So A and B is not a right choice. So straight section means no change in resistance. Okay. And in curved section, we know that graph is going to be curved towards right hand side or in downward position. So in downward position means current is going to be decreased. So current decrease because resistance will increase. So resistance increase means option D. Yes, option D. Concept is very much clear because in this section, value of electric current is going to decrease and electric current decrease when resistance increase. And in this section, resistance is constant. The diagram shows part of a circuit. What is the combined resistance? So combined resistance means equivalent resistance. We need to find out the equivalent resistance. So that's not a big deal. First combine these two resistors. These two are in series combination. Let's suppose R is the combined resistance of first two resistors. That is 3 ohms. Okay, now the third resistor. Now our new circuit will be like this. So this is the combined resistor RA. Let's suppose the remaining resistor is RB. So now we just combine these two resistors and we know that there is a parallel combination. So apply the formula parallel combination. 1 over R, the equivalent resistance will be equal to 1 over RA plus 1 over RB. RA will be equals to 3 ohm, RB will be equals to 4 ohms. So just combine these values. So we are getting 1 over R. So that is the value of 1 over R, but we need to calculate value of R. So reciprocal the value. So equivalent resistance will be equal to 1 divided by 0.58, that is 1.7. Option C. In marking scheme, yes, C. Okay, 12 questions are remaining. The diagram shows a circuit which includes two resistors and a battery. Okay, so most important thing, the combination of the circuit. Two resistors are in series combination, and in series combination, this type of question is also included in a specimen. Current remains same. Voltage will divide according to the resistance. The voltmeter reads 6 volt for a single resistor. What is the potential difference across 30 ohm resistor? Simple concept, resistance increases by 3 times. So resistance increase 3 times, it means voltage will also increase 3 times, because by using the concept of V equals to IR, Ohm's law, current is constant. So voltage is directly proportional to resistance. So it means multiply a voltage by 3, that will give you a value of 18 volt. C, 18 volt, right? A wire is moved down in a perpendicular direction to the magnetic field. Magnetic field is from north to south, and this wire is going to be moved perpendicular, that is in downward position. So that is perpendicular condition. So three changes are suggested. The speed of the movement of wire increase, magnetic field decrease, magnetic field reverse. Okay. Which change increase the EMF included in the wire? So you know the concept, when we move wire through the magnetic field, EMF will induced in it. And you know the factor, if we move very fast, so EMF, induced EMF will be greater. If we increase the strength of magnetic field, EMF will be greater. Or if we increase the number of turns, so EMF will be greater. These are three factors. So according to the given option, the speed of the movement, yes, option 1 will help. Magnetic field, no, that will not help. The direction of magnetic field reverse, no, that will only reverse the direction of EMF. So only one is possible. Only B option is possible. Yes. Okay. Question number 31. A wire is moved across a magnetic field. This causes an induced current in the wire. The induced current interacts with the magnetic field to produce a force on the wire. In which direction is the force? Okay. So basically, we know that magnetic field, the motion, and the induced EMF all are mutually perpendicular to each other. So basically, the question is, the induced current interacts with the magnetic field to produce a force. So we know that all are mutually perpendicular. We know the left hand rule. So basically, in which direction is this force? So we need to find out the direction of force. So if wire is moving in some direction, so our motion will be in the opposite direction, because in the mid there is a magnetic field. So all three of them are mutually perpendicular. So this D is the right choice by using left hand rule in the opposite direction of the motion, because we need to get the 90-degree, and opposite direction mean 180-degree, and if we include another force between it, so 90 divide equally, right? So that is the concept. Three of them are mutually perpendicular. So let's check in the option. Yes, D is the right one. Okay, 100% efficient step down transformer. Most important, step down transformer. So step down transformer means it has a primary voltage VP and primary current IP, which raw compares the secondary voltage. So we know that in a step down transformer, the secondary voltage will be less than the primary, right? Because the step down means to decrease the voltage. So less than VP means we need to select from options C and D because A and B is not possible. So either C or D. So according to the condition, V and I, so the primary power or the power of primary coil will be equal to power of secondary coil because transformers is 100% efficient. So VP IP will be equal to VSIS. So basically the voltage of the secondary coil will be less uh, than the primary coil because we are using step down transformer, but the current in the secondary coil will be greater than, because if we compare the equation like this, Vp Ip divided by Vs, we already mentioned that Vs is less than Vp. So it means if Vs will divide on the left hand side, so Is will be greater than Ip, right? Because if you just imagine the parallel picture, let's suppose if we want to calculate the Ip, so Ip will be equal to Vs Is divided by Vp. And we know that Vp is greater than Vs. So you just simply compare the ratio. Vs is less, Vp is greater. So if Vp is greater, so Ip will be less. And Vs is less, so Is will be greater. So it means Is will be greater than the Ip and Vs is less than Vp. So C is the right choice. I hope you got the concept. Yes. Okay. The scattering of alpha particle by a thin metal foil supports the nuclear model of an atom. We know that, Rutherford atomic model. Why are alpha particles used rather than neutrons? Okay. So we know that alpha particles are positively charged and the central part of the nucleus is positively charged. So if alpha is going to be scattered, so that is the uh, evidence that the nucleus is a positively charged. So alpha is a positive because they have a positive charge. D is the right option. 33. Nice. Question 34. An iron nuclide is represented by the symbol shown. Okay, we know that this represents the number of proton. This represents the number of nucleons. Nucleons means neutron plus proton. Question: which statement about a nucleus of this iron nuclides are correct? The nucleus contains 56 neutrons. That is not right. The nucleon number is 30. That is also not right because 56 is the nucleon number basically, and 30 is the neutron number. So options are shuffled. The proton number is 26. That is the right choice. 3 only. D. Yes. 35. A sample of radioactive isotope has an initial rate of emission of 128 counts per minute and a half-life of 4 days. Okay. So initially we are having 128 counts per minute and a half-life of 4 days. So how long it will take for the rate of emission to fall to 32 counts per minute? Okay, so this question is also repeated from past paper when we start topical of nuclear physics after 3 days. So you will observe this question is also from the past papers. So first, the basic concept I always used to teach my students, just uh, divide the actual value by 2 until you get the desired value of your result. So 128 divided by 2, that will be equal to 64. That is the first half-life. And you know the time period is 4 days. So after 4 days, we will get 64. Again divided by 2. So that will be equal to 32. It means that is the second half-life. and 4 plus 4, 8 days. So after 8 days, you will get the value of 32 counts per minute. That is option C. Several scientists are working in a laboratory. The scientists are experimenting with source which emit ionizing radiation. Each scientist is given a list of safety rules. Three of rules are shown. Okay, so memorize the safety precaution for nuclear reactions. So keep at least 2 meters away from other people. That is not a good choice. Do not stay longer than 4 hours. Yes, you remember the concept of long exposure. Stay behind the LED lined screen because LED is the best material to stop all type of radiation. So I think 2 and 3 are the best safety precaution. Let's see the question. Which safety rules are for the protection against? Yes, so they are talking about the protection. So 2 and 3 is the right choice. D. D. Okay, that's good. Okay, 37. Which data is needed to calculate the average orbital speed of a satellite around a planet? Okay, memorize hint. Average orbital speed. Formula is 2 pi r over the time required to complete one complete rotation around orbit of any specific planet. R is the distance between two planets and T is the time for satellite to orbit around the planet. So basically this is capital T and this is R. Otherwise all 2 pi are constant. So we just need to know about R and T. So needed means a tick and not needed means cross. So B is the right choice. Simple. We need R, we need T. Only these two quantities we can easily find orbital speed. Yes, B is the right choice. Approximately how long does it take for the moon to make one complete orbit of the Earth? So that is very simple. Moon takes 1 month to complete orbit around the Earth. So B is the right choice. That is very simple. Okay, 39. The energy generated in stable stars come from nuclear reactions. Which type of reaction occurs in the sun? Again, if you remember the concept of the stability of the star, the topic of the star formation and the stability of the star. So in that process, we studied that we use hydrogen as a fuel for nuclear fusion reaction on sun because sun basically based on nuclear fusion reaction and fusion reaction on the sun starts with the help of hydrogen. Hydrogen nuclei is going to be used as a fuel for the sun. Sorry, for fusion reaction on the sun. So nuclei basically joins to form a helium. So that is a simple process we already studied in the concept of the life cycle of a star. If you don't know about it, just go through, check out my playlist of space visit. There are 6 lectures. Just go through it. You get the answer. So 39, hydrogen nuclei join together to form helium nuclei. D is the simple answer. Breakup, that is fission reaction. And B is the reverse form. A is the reverse form. So D is the right choice. D is the right choice. Two quantities define the Hubble constant h naught, the speed at which the galaxy is moving away, v, the distance of the galaxy from the Earth, d. What is the relation between v and d? So that is related to Hubble's law, and Hubble's law is very simple. V is equals to h naught d. So basically V is directly proportional to D and the value of H naught is 2.2 exponent minus 8. That is the current estimate for H naught because this relation is used to find out the distance of the galaxies from the Earth. So that is also a very constant value, fixed values. And question is very simple related to the journal formula. V is equals to H naught D. So V is directly proportional to D because H naught is constant. So A is the right option. Yes, A is the right option. Okay, students, I hope you will get the concept. And questions are not much very difficult. I will upload this salt paper along with the marking scheme in the description in the first comment section. You may download it from there, and I hope this will help you and will give you confidence, and especially those students who are doing topicals and now they are going to start the yearly paper, so that this paper will give you confidence that in the latest question or in the new syllabus which is included in 2023. So in February, March, this is the paper of February, March. So questions are not much difficult. Only two or three questions are typical. And most important thing, most questions are repeated. And I mentioned with the question that those questions are repeated. So you may check out the video, and other short papers are also available on my channel. You may just go through the P1 topical section and the specimen section. You will get the other papers too. And if you want any other paper for me to solve and record a video for that, just ask in the comment section. You will get the answers too, right? Okay, it's time to say goodbye. Inshallah, we will meet in our next video. Take care. Allah Hafiz.